Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janvalabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janvalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janvalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this morning. And please bless me so that I may be able to transmit a message from Srila Prabhupada that will inspire you in your devotional practice and also benefit my devotional practice in trying to serve Shri Sri Guru and Gauranga. We're reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 18, Texts 12 and 13. Iti priyam hitam vakyam bhuvaha adaya bhupatihi vatsam kritva manum panau aduhat sakala oshadihi iti priyam itavakyam Bhuva adaya bhupati Vatsang kritva manung panav Aduhat sakalo sadhi Iti priyang hita vakyam Bhuva adaya bhupati Vatsang kritva manum panav Aduhat sakalo sadhi Iti priyang hitang vakyam Bhuva adaya bhupati Vatsang kritva manum panav Aduhat sakalo sadhi Prabhuji's Iti priyang hitang vakyam Iti bhuva pati Vatsam kritva manum panav Aduhat sakalo sadhi Iti priyang itang vakyang Bhuva adhaya bhupatihi Vatsang kritva manum panav Aduhat sakalo sadhi Iti priyang itang vakyam Bhuva adaya bhupati Vatsang kritva manum panav Aduhat sakalo sadhi. Thank you, Matajis. Okay. Iti thus priyam pleasing, hitam beneficial, vakyam words, bhuvaha of the earth, adaya taking into consideration, bhupatihi the king, vatsam calf, kritva making, manum swayambhuva manu panau in his hands, aduhat milked, sakala all, oshadihi herbs and grains. Translation by His Divine Loving Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After hearing the auspicious and pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them, and he then transformed Swayambhuva Manu into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in his cupped hands. So we'll move on to text 13 because there's no purport, in which case I'll simply do the Sanskrit and purport and translation. Translation and purport, if that's okay. Tata parecha savatra sarangadate buddha tato necha yata kamang duduhu pritu bhupavitam. So we can do the word for word. Tata, so, apare, others, cha, also, savatra, everywhere, saram, the essence, adadate, took, buddha, the intelligent class of men, tataha, thereafter, anye, others, cha, also, Itakamam, as much as they desired. Duduhu, milked. Prithu Bhavitam, the planet Earth controlled by Prithu Maharaj. Others, who were as intelligent as King Prithu, also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth. The planet Earth, we can do the translation together. Others who were as intelligent as King Prithu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth. The planet Earth is also called Vasundhara. The word Vasu means wealth and Dhara means one who holds. All creatures within the earth fulfill the necessities required for human beings, and all living entities can be taken out of the earth by the proper means. As suggested by the planet Earth, and accepted and initiated by King Prithu, whatever is taken from the earth, either from the mines, from the surface of the globe, or from the atmosphere, should always be considered the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and should be used for Yagya, Lord Vishnu. As soon as the process of Yagya is stopped, the earth will withhold all productions, vegetables, trees, plants, fruits, flowers, other agricultural products and minerals. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the process of Yagya was instituted from the beginning of creation. By regular performance of Yagya, the equal distribution of wealth and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. As already mentioned, in this age of Kali, the simple performance of Sankirtan Yagya, the holding of festivals as initiated by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, should be introduced in every town and village. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtan Yagya by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerity by restricting themselves from illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. If the intelligent men or the brahmanas of society would follow the rules and regulations, certainly the entire face of the present world, which is in such chaotic condition, would change, and people would be happy and prosperous. Om Jnana Timinandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayang Dadati Swapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shita Parakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastha Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Te Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Go Vani Pachayane Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pastitya Desatarine. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to try and serve Srimad Bhagavatam, who is not different from Lord Krishna himself and is therefore very merciful. So, the background of where we're at in the Srimad Bhagavatam is that Maharaj Prithu is the king of the earth, and he deeply desires to fulfill his dharma as a king, to provide for all the citizens their full needs of agriculture, economic development, religious prosperity, and I forget the fourth one, Dharma Artha. Does anyone know? Dharma Artha? Karma and moksha. So, what is moksha then? Liberation. So religious prosperity and liberation. So, thank you, Matza. So he's trying. Thank you. So he's trying to fulfill these duties as a king, and what's happening is that Mother Bhumi has become feeling a bit despondent. Because the sacrifices, she's withholding the resources and feeling that certain sacrifices have to take place. And so that's where we are. And then Maharaj Prithu confronted Mother Bhumi, and she explained why she feels this way. And now we're at the point where she's providing the solutions. Sri Sri Radha Radhanath ki jai, Sri Sri Giri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura Hari ki jai, Nita Go Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So now we're at the place where Mother Bhumi is actually providing the solution and giving Maharaj Prithu the way forward, which is very significant. I'm just something that stood out here. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the earth. So immediately what stood out for me was that following in the footsteps, it's so important in our devotional practice. And so we see that Mother Bhumi is actually the direct consort of Lord Krishna in his form of Varahadev, the boar incarnation, who very mercifully incarnated as a boar from the nostril of Lord Brahma, the size of a thumbprint, and then he expanded himself in a very beautiful form of glistening red furs and beautiful large tusks. And Mother Bhumi was in distress at that time as well, and he uplifted her from the ocean. She became in distress because Hiranyaksha had caused some disturbance to the balance through some austerities, and Lord Krishna came and uplifted her. And in the same way, he now uplifts her, or she feels most satisfied by the performances of sacrifices. And this is what she's explaining. And so, following in the footsteps, so she's laid the path out for Maharaj Prithu, and he's following her instructions. So Mother Bhumi is a mother, and in the Shastra it's also said that the mother is the original guru. So he's following her advice, and his citizens are following his advice. And in the same way, we hope to and pray to follow the advice that Srila Prabhupada will now give in this very exciting purport. Are you ready for the purport? That's the question. Hopefully. Okay, so the planet Earth is also called Vasundhara, and the word Vasu means wealth. So I wanted to focus a little bit on two aspects of the purport. One is that intelligent persons are mentioned twice within the verse and the purport, and then Vasundhara means wealth. So if you'll just give me a moment to find my notes, then we'll take it from there. So intelligence, when we think of intelligence, firstly we think of Lord Krishna, who is Sri Krishna Bhagavan, the possessor of all opulences, one of which is supreme wealth. The others are wealth, beauty, fame, renunciation, wisdom, and strength. So these are the 6 full opulences of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. And so what he did with this opulence of intelligence is he fully empowered one particular living entity. Can anyone think who that living entity who is empowered like full intelligence? His body is actually made of pure intelligence. Any guesses? Go for it. No. So Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is the engineer of this particular universe, and he's been empowered with the full opulence of intelligence. And it's described actually that when Lord Brahma was creating, he felt anxiety and pity of the conditioned souls, because he had to basically create like a prison house. So I found a purport in that regard which says, a pure devotee like of the Lord, like Lord Brahma, and persons in his disciplic succession, are always unhappy to see the perplexities of the conditioned souls, who are suffering the onslaughts of the threefold miseries, which pertain to the body and mind, to the disturbances of material nature, and to many other such material disadvantages. Not knowing adequate measures for relieving such difficulties, suffering persons sometimes pose themselves as leaders of the people, and the unfortunate followers are put into further disadvantages under such so-called leadership. This is like a blind man's leading another blind man to fall into a ditch. Therefore, unless the devotees of the Lord take pity on them and teach them the right path, their lives are hopeless failures. The devotees of the Lord who voluntarily take the responsibility of raising the foolish materialistic sense enjoyers are as confidential to the Lord as Lord Brahma. So, very important again, what stands out from the purport is that the citizens followed the footsteps of Maharaj Prithu, who followed the instructions of Mother Bhumi on how to uplift humanity. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is going to give us the formula on how to uplift humanity for this current age. But just a little bit more on Lord Brahma is that then he understood from Lord Krishna, after having, so he understood this word tapa, which means austerity. So he's the first being that we look up to that created this universe, and he understood the word tapa from Lord Krishna. And then he performed this tapasya, and then he executed his duties. So in the same way, because we're in that succession, we also have to understand the word tapa and perform certain tapa in order to cleanse our consciousness and reawake our dormant love for Krishna. This is actually what it's all about. So when the living beings are misbehaving and not performing these necessary sacrifices, then Mother Bhumi may teach some lessons in the form of withholding grains or so on and so forth. So that's about intelligence. And then the second sort of idea that stood out from the purport and the text was that of wealth. So in order for there to be prosperity, there needs to be grains and exchange and artha, kama, moksha, and I keep forgetting, but they need to be performed properly. And so it says the planet Earth is also called Vasundhara. The word Vasu means wealth and Dara means one who holds. So here Mother Bhumi is referred to as the holder of wealth, and one of Lord Krishna's opulences also is the possessor of all wealth. But the truth is that actually, because he's the possessor of all wealth, we can't actually offer anything to him. Kind of like, I don't know if you mothers must have had a child, maybe you baked some biscuits or you made some nice food for your child, and then the child picked up some and tried to give you. So actually it came from you, but what was there, or what made you maybe accept it, even if maybe it was like a soggy chip that they'd half eaten or something, but you would accept it because of love. So this is the essence we're trying to unpack. is that we can't actually offer anything to Krishna, but we absolutely should, because he's the seed-giving father. Mother Bhumi is the mother. And in that regard, we must offer our gratitude and our love. That's what we're made for. We're made to love and give happiness to Lord Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Gaura Hari. So as suggested by the planet Earth and accepted and initiated, going back to the purport, as suggested by planet Earth and accepted and initiated by King Prithu, whatever is taken from the earth, either from the mines, from the surface of the globe, or from the atmosphere, should always be considered the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and should be used for Yagya, Lord Vishnu. So we acknowledge Lord Krishna as the supreme proprietor of everything and the source of everything. We understand that we have to offer it back to him. But because we understand that actually we can't offer anything to him, we have to ask ourselves, what is it that we can offer that would really, really please him? And yes, the grains and all the resources of earth are mentioned. And Lord Krishna does mention that. And he says, I will accept. He says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Excuse me, I don't know the rest of the Sanskrit now, but the translation is, if one offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or some water with devotion, I will accept it. So that's Lord Krishna. But now we're actually living in the age of Lord Chaitanya. So he incarnated in the age of Lord Chaitanya. And something struck me from His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj's class on the holy names. And he spoke about a concept called, I hope I get it, a Lakshvara. Did anyone remember this term? Lakshvara? Okay, let me just quickly try to find it, if you can give me one moment. Oh, here it is, Laksheshvara. So this is Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Krishna is saying, yes, offer me fruit, flower, leaf and water with love and devotion. I will accept. But here Lord Chaitanya says something a little more in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. He says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord smiled. So Lord Chaitanya, one thing, he's got many pastimes about loving to eat very good prasadam. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are these excellent descriptions of really like long descriptions about prasadam. I remember one class His Holiness Kadamba Maharaj gave in Cape Town, and it was a really long description of unlimited varieties of spinach. And if you ever take a look at the material creation and you just, like yesterday His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami was speaking about how a tiny seed in an acorn pod can produce something as big as a banyan tree. And you think of varieties of colors and fragrances and textures that one can see in this world and offer to Krishna. So that's elaborately described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Different, like unlimited varieties of spinach, and Jai Prabhu knows how to offer like really nice madumbi stew, like these things. Some devotees are very empowered like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yes, he agrees. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. He's still in the mood of Krishna and he loves his fruits and his flowers and with love and devotion. But then he says in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord smiled and said, first you should become a Laksheshvara. I take meals only in the house of a Laksheshvara. Hearing this, the Brahmanas became worried. Do you know who is a Laksheshvara? So this is Lord Chaitanya. So generally Laksheshvara means one who possesses much wealth. Saying one who possesses much wealth, I'll eat from them. But what Lord Chaitanya is actually referring to, he says, a Laksheshvara is someone who daily chants 100,000 holy names. I call that person a Laksheshvara. So daily chanting 100,000 holy names, I can only say I beg to take shelter of such persons and follow in the footsteps of such persons, like the purport is alluding to. So this is actually the wealth Lord Chaitanya is looking for in this age. He wants delicious preparations, he's made that clear. He wants everyone to cook for him with love and devotion. But he really wants the holy names because it's such an easy process. And he's so merciful, and his only goal is to uplift humanity and give. He actually just wants to give love. He's experiencing such intense love that he wants to share it, and his heart is overflowing. So he's given this process which even a child can perform. If you have a look at, I'm not sure if it's on the ISKCON Cape Town page, but you'll see we've got this kid in Cape Town who comes on Harinam with us. He's, I think, 2.5 years old. very easily he puts his hands and he performs Sankirtan, very purely. And there's another child, he's grown up now, 13 or 14, but I just saw a video of him last night, like a Facebook memory. His name's Jayananda, he's a kid from Johannesburg. His good parents are Devi, Dasi and Rajvallabha Prabhu. And this little boy had a small harmonium, and I can't say he would have been more than 2 years old, honestly. And he would play the harmonium and chant the full mantra and dance, and it was amazing to observe Srila Prabhupada's words that even a child can perform this sacrifice. So Lord Chaitanya has given us that. He's given such a wonderful, easy sacrifice. And it says in the purport, by the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth, and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. So that's something I definitely would like to be a part of. I have a very, very philanthropic side of myself, this Mother Teresa complex, some might call it. And I definitely want to be part of a peaceful and prosperous earth. And so Lord Chaitanya gives the formula, through Srila Prabhupada. As already mentioned in this age, the simple performance of Sankirtan Yajna, the holding of festivals as initiated by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, should be introduced in every town and village. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtan Yajna by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerity by restricting themselves from illicit sex, meat eating, gambling and intoxication. If the intelligent men or the brahmanas of society would follow the rules and regulations, certainly the entire face of the present world, which is in such chaotic condition, would change and people would be happy and prosperous. So we first of all have to follow in the footsteps of such great personalities. These are tall orders. Chant 64 rounds a day. Lord Srila Prabhupada understood that we need a bit more mercy, and so as a merciful Father, He gave us that injunction, and we have to follow in His footsteps, and we have to beg for the mercy of His servants who are currently here, and we have to take shelter of them in order to try and become these examples, and also to essentially make the world happy and prosperous. I think that those two words were mentioned twice, and Srila Prabhupada was not one to waste words, or he was very careful about his words, and so when he repeats things, they are so important. And it's clear here that the words happy and prosperous are mentioned. So we first have to become happy and prosperous in the chanting of the holy names, and we pray to, and then we have to share that with others. And that is done through the Sankirtan Yajna, chanting of Hare Krishna very nicely. So just to think about how Lord Chaitanya also, he illustrates through one of his great followers that this is the wealth of this age. There's another pastime that His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj mentioned, I think it was in the Holy Name course or yesterday. He said of Sanatana Goswami, who took the touchstone, which is the Chintamani jewel, which is the most valuable jewel. Basically, it's a jewel that if you touch it to anything, it becomes gold. So that would be pretty cool to have. And this Brahmana was living in quite a poverty-stricken situation, and he was advised to go and ask Sanatana Goswami for the greatest treasure, and that because he's a merciful Brahmana, he would be charitable and he would give it. So he took a journey and he went to Sanatana Goswami, who is one of Lord Chaitanya's principal followers, and he found him there chanting the holy names of Krishna. Offered his respects, inquired from him, and then explained his condition, and said he was recommended to come to Sanatana Goswami and ask, "My dear sage, please give me the greatest wealth that is possible, or guide me on how to attain the greatest wealth." So Sanatana Goswami pointed to like a pile of, anyone has been to India? Like there's these piles of rubbish, very detached from, kind of, it's just there. So he put his touchstone on a pile of rubbish, and he asked the Brahmana to receive the touchstone, which would give him the greatest wealth from the pile of rubbish. The Brahmana was very happy. He took the touchstone and went home to his wife and explained the whole story. So when she saw it, she was extremely ecstatic. She didn't expect that. She was thinking of all the gold bangles she could get, and all the gold, and she's just very happy with her husband. So he told her the whole story, and then after all her excitement, she said, "But wait a minute. What do you mean he asked you to pick it up from the rubbish heap? What do you mean by that? That's strange. Why would this valuable jewel be kept on a rubbish heap? Great sages don't do anything whimsically. There must be something to that. I don't think he gave you the greatest wealth. Maybe there's something even more amazing he can give you that will excel our prosperity even further. So won't you go back and ask him, was there some reason that you put this touchstone on the rubbish heap?" And so the Brahmana went back and he again offered his respects and inquired from Sanatana Goswami. And then we hear this phrase called Nama Chintamani Krishna. So the holy name of Krishna is actually the touchstone, or the real Chintamani jewel. And it makes sense because a physical Chintamani jewel is simply a byproduct of Lord Krishna's energy. And when we chant Hare Krishna and Rama, we actually directly contact Lord Krishna, who is the source of everything. So everything can come from him, all happiness, all prosperity, in the ultimate sense of reawakening our dormant love and our service for him. So that is all I have to say. The intelligent person takes to chanting the holy names of Krishna. So I'm very blessed to be in the association of very intelligent beings, and I pray for your mercy that you all continue chanting so nicely, and also give me the mercy to really chant nicely to please my spiritual master and Lord Shri Krishna. So the intelligent person takes to chanting the holy names of Krishna, and most especially takes shelter of those who has perfected the pure path of chanting and propagating those holy names. So Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Any questions or comments or reflections? Thank you, Mother Rukmini. So just to reflect what Mother Rukmini said for anyone who may be listening online, Mother Rukmini is sharing the line in the purport that stands out for her about personal behavior. Let me just find it quickly. Last paragraph. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtan Yagya by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerity by restricting themselves from illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling and intoxication. So Mother Rukmini is highlighting this point that the essence of life is to spread the Sankirtan movement, and sometimes we should use words to do that, which is reminded me of the verse from Bhagavad Gita, Yatat Acharati Sheshtas. So this verse says that whatever acts a great man performs, common men will surely follow, which inspires me to think that as a very lay person, I hope to one day follow the great footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, who set the greatest example. Thank you very much for that, Mother Rukmini. Anything else? Okay. Anybody else? Srila Prabhupada ki jai.